All right, guys, we got Bitcoin coming in at $52,000. That seems to be, I guess, short-term resistance, we could call it. We still got altcoins looking pretty good. Cardanzo was just at 60 cents. Now we're back down to like 58, 59. I noticed that VeChain's still pumping. We were at like 4.5 cents yesterday. Now we're at like a little bit over 4 cents, or a little bit over 4.5 cents. I think there's a conference coming up for VeChain on the 24th. So VeChain could technically get to 5, 6 cents before it pulls back, and it will pull back at some point. But I think we could easily get to 5.5 cents before we get a pullback. Overall, guys, everything looking pretty good, even though traditional markets today are kind of on a crash. Well, I don't want to say a crash, but stocks are down today. Inflation. Also, I noticed that mortgage rates have shot up to a 2-month high after a hot inflation report. Of course, the big question in everybody's mind, what's going to happen with the housing market? Well, if mortgage rates are high, I don't think much is going to happen because buyers can't get mortgages, and sellers, they're going to sell their property, but unless they're buying another property for cash, they're not going to be getting some crazy high mortgage rate. So I think that's going to keep supply low, and I think it's going to keep buyers low. I mentioned before, I actually had an Airbnb for the last 3 years, and I got so sick of Airbnb. Just dealing with Airbnb. I might actually make a separate video about Airbnb and just like how it used to be decent, but like they kept jacking up the fees. Every time you would call support, you're dealing with some guy from India, and it was just like got to be so annoying. I also think like Airbnb kind of cooled off a little bit, and just with all the fees, I think it's like a dying concept. So I actually had to make the choice whether to make my property a long-term rental or just sell it. And I chose to sell it because of the area it was in, which used to be a nice area, but it's actually Towson, Maryland, and Towson's kind of turned into Baltimore City, which I always say. And there's like been shootings. There was a guy police chase behind the house, stolen car, caught my neighbor's house on fire, and it just got to the point I was like, do I want to keep this as a long-term rental, or do I want to sell it and buy maybe a condo in a nicer area and rent that out as a long-term rental? And I've actually chosen to one, give up on Airbnb because I think that's a dying concept, and then I have a contract in on my rental property, my Airbnb, and I'm going to sell that. That should be closing in a few weeks, and then I'm probably going to buy a condo in a nicer area and make that a long-term rental. But my point is, as long as these mortgage rates are high, there's not much is going to change in the housing market. Now, I know in April is when all the sellers kind of flood in and start selling their properties, but they're not going to be selling their properties with interest rates high, and plus, even if they do, there's not going to be any buyers unless you're a cash buyer. So we have to monitor that situation. So overall, stocks are down a little bit today. The one thing that everybody, like on my comments, they always ask, they always say, when are you getting out of this bull market? Have things changed with this bull market? And I've always said, look, statistically, 6 months after the Bitcoin halving, we get all-time high for Bitcoin, and then within 6 months after that, we're pretty much at the top, and that's when you should be getting out. Now, most people are thinking that's going to happen first quarter 2025, maybe even going into mid-2025. And with everything that's been happening with Bitcoin, I think things are happening a lot faster than anticipated, and that's why I think the high for Bitcoin may come months and months earlier, and I've been talking about this for the last few months. So like I said, you don't want to be in a situation where you have in your head, I'm not going to sell till this point, I'm not going to sell till the coin gets to a certain price, and then we end up going right into a bear market. And that's what a lot of YouTubers did, a lot of your favorite social media people did last bear market, bull market. So the way I see it, and like I've already said, I think everything's going a lot faster than expected. That could mean that the bull market's going to just go on for a long time because there's so much institutional money coming in. But it could also mean that the cycles are speeding up. And since we're starting early, we're going to end early. And I personally think the worst feeling in the world, and what happens to almost everybody in crypto. Why does everybody always lose money in crypto? Like if you were to get 100 people that all lost money in crypto, and you were to say to them, why did you lose money? They're all going to say the same thing. I was up 100x. I had so much money, but I didn't cash out because I thought it was going to go higher. So this is what you don't want to do. And that's why I think towards the end of the summer, like I said, Bitcoin probably going to be $80,000, $90,000. Cardano $3, $4. Theta $10, $15. There's probably more room to go. They're probably going to go higher. But for me, I'm going to start DCAing out, start getting out at that point. That doesn't mean I'm going to sell everything, but it means I'm going to probably take at least half off the table come end of summer, going into fall, because once we get to that feeling, that euphoric feeling where everybody's talking about Bitcoin, your cab driver, your Uber driver, the server at the store, the bartender, you feel it. And even though everybody's going to be saying on YouTube, wait, we got another 8 months of this cycle. Wait, we got till mid 2025, which is what I've heard from everybody. Mid 2025, we're going to keep going up till then. What happens if Bitcoin doesn't go up until then? What happens if Bitcoin tops out because it went up so fast, so hard? What if we top out going into fall, end of summer? It will be one of the biggest disasters for Bitcoin investors, because almost all of them are stuck in that mindset of, okay, we're going to follow the 4-year cycles to a T. It's not going to happen till, 2025, and they're going to lose their shit. So that's what we want to be careful about on this channel. And like I said, a lot of people, I think big players are going to be dumping out of Bitcoin. I don't think Michael Saylor is going to be holding for $1 million Bitcoin. I actually think Michael Saylor, I've said this before, guys like Michael Saylor, your big whales in Coinbase, things like that, I think once they see a $90,000 Bitcoin or a $100,000 Bitcoin, they're going to be dumping. And I actually think the Michael Saylor dump, I'm going to call it the Michael Saylor dump, is probably going to be what the catalyst is taking us into the next bear market. And you have to understand, the next bear market could start before 2025. It could start right before 2025, fall, December, November. There's no guarantee we're going to go into 2025. So, we're going to make videos on this channel talking about it, and I'll let you guys know when I start, selling out of my coins. But like I said, everybody thinks they're a genius in the bull market. They think it's going to pump forever, and almost everybody, in fact, everybody I know in crypto personally, didn't sell at the right time. They all held right into the bear market. Even really smart people, even very successful people in stocks who were retired, did very well in stocks. They held all their coins right back into the bear market. I know people through other people that had Theta, $500,000 of Theta, and they decided to keep holding it, thinking it was going to go past $15, and that $500,000 turned into $10,000. Because people you get so euphoric. So the number one thing we want to do on this channel is not make that mistake, even if it means we got out early. I always tell the story, last bull market, sold most of my Theta at $8 or $9, some at $10. Theta went to $15. I had friends telling me I was an idiot. To my face, you idiot, it's 15 now. A few months later, Theta right back down to $1. And those people lost all their money to the point where it was devastating. People on forums, people on Reddit that I talked to, talking about a $30, $40, $50 Theta last bull market. Your favorite YouTubers, Crypto Capital Venture, Dan, that guy, talking about a Cardano that's going to $5, $10 at $3, $2.50. I sold most of my Cardano at between $2 and $2.50. Now remember, I bought most of it at a penny and 2 cents. But they were all telling you, oh my God, we might get one more dump, but Cardano, it's going to $5. It's going to $10. I was on the comments of these channels, and people cursing at me, telling me I was spreading FUD, telling me Cardano will never go under $1 again because of all the people coming into it. And of course, what happens? Cardano goes down to 23 cents. So yeah, I didn't get the top on Cardano. I sold most between $2 and $2.50. It went to $3.20 or something like that. But who cares? You're never going to get the top. And if you're holding out for the top, you're going to end up making mistakes. So that's my little speech on that. Cardano price reclaims 60 cents as open interest doubles in 21 days. Cardano's price breached the 61 cent barrier on February 16th, while an unusual trend in derivatives market, trends suggest more bullish action could follow. Cardano emerged as one of the best performing mega cap crypto assets this week, thanks to billions of dollars flowing towards layer one. And like I told you guys, Solana, it went from $10 to $120. I said Solana has already had most of its bull run now. Congratulations, you got a 10x. It might go to $300. Maybe it'll even go to $400. But if you're in Solana right now, other coins are going to start outperforming Solana because Solana already had its big pump. It already went up 10x. So if you look right now at the prices, you'll see Solana is $109. Solana has yet to reclaim that $120 mark. But if you look, Cardano 60 cents. So I think when Cardano hits $1, you might see like $130 Solana. But I think in the end, Cardano and a lot of other coins are going to outperform Solana simply because Solana already had its big pump. Cardano open interest has doubled in the last 21 days. Like I said, the guys who made a lot of money in Solana are going to start putting their money into other projects. A 100% surge in open interest indicates that speculative traders have doubled their investments in Cardano futures markets over the past 21 days. Delving deeper, it reveals that the rapid growth in investor interest and market participation outpaces the increase in Cardano's spot price. Cardano price forecast is $1 a viable target. Based on the market trends, Cardano's price appears primed for another leg up, closer to $1 in the weeks ahead. However, historical accumulation trends suggest that Cardano could face stiff resistance at the 67-cent mark. I think $1 is right around the corner. And like I've been telling you guys with Cardano, see, the one thing about these coins, even if you notice with Solana, it was $8, $12, $20, $30. Once the money started flowing into Solana and everybody started talking about it, that's when it started pumping. Same with VeChain. You know, VeChain's been pumping recently. Went from 2 cents to almost 4.5 cents where it is right now. It essentially doubled in a week. I mean, what other coin's going to do that? So the minute that happened yesterday, the minute VeChain did that pump, articles after articles, VeChain to 70 cents, VeChain to $1, VeChain outperform, like all the articles come out and all the money comes in. And that's kind of what we like to call the dumb money. The dumb money really doesn't invest in projects until they start to see it pump. So Cardano right now, yeah, it's starting to gain some interest. People are getting kind of excited about it. But once Cardano hits 75 cents to $1, it's going to be making headlines. They're going to be talking about it on CNBC. And that's when all that dumb money is going to come in. And I think once Cardano hits 75 cents to $1, it's off to the races. And Cardano will not see 50 cents again until we go back into the bear market. So good things coming for Cardano, VeChain, even Litecoin, all of our favorite coins. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. Bitcoin's still 52,000, looking good. We'll see what happens this weekend. I mean, look, we're in a position right now. I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin goes back to 50,000. I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin goes to 55,000. I have no idea. But overall, you saw the Bitcoin pump, then you saw basically the altcoins pump. I think the altcoins have more room to go. I think if Bitcoin hangs out at 52,000, 51.5 to 52,000 for the next week, I think altcoins are going to start catching up as they usually do. Unless we get some big sell-off in Bitcoin where we go back down to 49,000 or 50,000, then of course we could lose some of these gains. But overall, got the halving in 2 months, so things are looking bullish. Have a good weekend. Talk to you later. Like and subscribe.